Hey everyone, my name is Brian and welcome back to my LEGO investing channel, Dynasty. Today I'm going to break down every single Marvel and DC superhero set that's retiring in 2023, give my thoughts on them for investing, and share at what price point I'd buy them for investing. Marvel is one of LEGO's biggest themes. There are always plenty of sets to choose from. DC on the hand is a little bit left behind. There are only 4 sets retiring for that theme this year, but Marvel has 21 sets retiring for that theme this year. So there are quite a few sets to go over, so let's go ahead and get started and waste no time. The first set we have for DC is the Jim Lee Batman Collection, set number 31205. It has an MSRP of $119.99. It was released in March of 2022, so it's going to have a little over a year and a half shelf life. And on eBay, the lowest buy it now price in new condition available is $110, and there are only 29 sellers. This set's not doing too bad on the aftermarket right now, going near MSRP, and has very few sellers. The Iron Man art set that retired a couple years back from Marvel has not done bad. It's going around, I think, $150 to $160. It's sold at the same price point. So if you bought it at a good discount, it would be doing really well for you for investing. So I feel the same way about this Batman set. I think it could go for around $150, $160 year to 2 years after retirement. So for me to buy this set, I'm going to be looking for around a 50% off discount to invest in the set. I just want to note quickly before we get too into this video that a lot of these buy prices I give for these sets are pretty deep discounts. And the reason for that is my LEGO investing strategy is to buy sets at a deep enough discount to be able to sell them after about a year to a year and a half after retirement and be able to double my money after shipping and fees. To be able to do that, I have to be really focused and disciplined and buy sets at only a really good discount. Some people like to hold sets for 2, 3, even 4 years, and at that point, you'd be able to buy sets at less discounts because you'll have more time for the price increase in the aftermarket. There will be less investors, and the demand will hopefully still be there for those sets, and you'll be able to sell them at higher price points. I just wanted to note that so you could see my viewpoint in all of these buy price targets. So let's get back into it. Next up is the Batman Batmobile, set number 42127. It has an MSRP of $99.99. It was released in January of 2022, so it's going to have a 2-year shelf life. The lowest price available on eBay is $70 and has 159 sellers. This Batmobile is based off the latest Batman movie. There's a second movie coming out at some point in the future, so there will be continued collectability of this set, but it's also rumored to be on sale for $55 from Walmart coming up for their competition with Amazon Prime. That should be popping up this week, so I'm going to be needing an even bigger discount on top of what that is going for at almost 50% off. So for me to invest in the set, I would need about a 70% off discount because it's going well under MSRP. There are a good amount of sellers, and a lot of investors are going to be buying this set at 45% off, and I just need a much more significant discount to buy that for myself for investing. Next up is Batmobile, the Penguin Chase, set number 76181. Has an MSRP of $29.99. It was released January of 2022, so it will also have a 2-year shelf life. And on eBay, it's going for $24 with 153 sellers. This set's commonly discounted to 20% off, if not more. It's been discounted at Walmart and store clearances. There's nothing too special about this set. There are a good amount of sellers going under MSRP. So for me to get invested in the set, I'm going to need a 60% off discount. You could maybe see that at a Walmart in-store clearance. And the last DC set is Batman vs. Harley Quinn. Set number 76220 has an MSRP of $9.99. It was released in September of 2022. So it's going to have a little under a year and a half shelf life. On eBay, the lowest buy it now price it's available for is $11, and it has 113 sellers. This is also just a pretty small set, nothing really worth writing home about. It's going $1 over MSRP. But with these small sets, if you're selling on eBay, you're going to be paying about $4 to $5 shipping on them. So you really have to sell them for about $30 if you're buying at MSRP to be able to make a profit. So if I'm going to buy this set for investing, I'd need maybe a 60% off discount. And even at that point, I'm not sure if I would buy it because they're a little bit of a pain to ship, and I think the price may take a while to rise in the aftermarket. So as you can see, I'm pretty down on the DC sets that are retiring this year. There's just nothing too exciting for me. Nothing really crazy with the sets, no crazy exclusive minifigures that are going for a lot in the aftermarket. They were all readily available, all discounted consistently, no stock issues or anything at all. So that's my thoughts on the DC sets. Let's move to Marvel and see if there are any better sets for investing there. Since there are quite a few Marvel sets, I grouped them into different sub-themes. So the first sub-theme we're going to go over is the 4+ sets. The first one we have is Miles Morales, Spider-Man's Techno Trike, set number 10781. It has an MSRP of $9.99. It was released in January of 2022, so it's going to have a 2-year shelf life. And on eBay, the lowest it's going for is $11, and it has 102 sellers. Just like the last sets, all these 4+ sets are commonly available for 20% off. There's nothing too special about them. They're pretty low piece counts for the price. They're aimed towards kids. These sets might be better for Amazon investors, with parents commonly looking there for sets for their kids and not really paying attention to what they were selling for originally at their MSRP, so they might pay higher prices for sets. But for me, as someone who sells on eBay, I don't see this set doing well at all for investing, so I would need a 70% off discount. So if I saw maybe 10 of them stacked up on a shelf during Walmart in-store clearance, maybe I'd scoop some up, but that's the only case I would be buying them in. Next is this Spider-Man Web Quarters Hangout, set number 10784. The set has an MSRP of $49.99. It was released 2 years ago in January of 2022. And on eBay, the lowest it's listed for is $40, and it only has 40 sellers. So the set's pretty undersupplied in the aftermarket. Again, it's nothing too exciting though. The minifigures are okay, the set is okay, there's nothing to write home about with the build. I would only buy the set if it was 60% off. And the last 4+ set we have is the Team Spidey at Green Goblin's Lighthouse, set number 10790. Has an MSRP of $39.99. And the thing that's different about this set, it only has an 8-month shelf life. It was released in March of this year. And you can tell it hasn't been around for a while because on eBay, the lowest it's listed for is $40, $5 over MSRP, and it only has 48 sellers. So this is the most interesting set, I think, for investing this year, simply because of the short shelf life on the set. Being only 8 months, there are not nearly as many of this set produced. That means not many people have bought them. Especially for investing, these 4+ sets aren't that popular. And so when there's sets that are undersupplied in the aftermarket, it takes less time for them to rise if there is a good enough demand. So for me, I'm still not super thrilled over this set, but I would buy it at 50% off, and that's the lowest threshold for all these 4+ sets. Moving on to Black Panther related sets, we have Shuri Sunbird, set number 76211, has an MSRP of $49.99. It was released in October of 2022, so it'll have a year and 3-month shelf life. On eBay, the lowest it's listed for is $26, almost half off, and it has 137 sellers. This set, along with the Throne Room set that I'll talk about momentarily, have been discounted really heavily across many Walmarts around the country in store, going for 50, 60, 70% off. No one really likes these sets. They were overproduced and there's very little demand. So for me to pick up this set, it would have to be an 80% discount. And I don't think I've given an 80% discount buy price for any set going in the past. So this is my first 80% off discount buy price. And that should say something. I really don't like this set for investing, and it's a really slow mover in the aftermarket. I will be avoiding this set at pretty much all costs. Next is Shuri's Lab, set number 76212, had an MSRP of $9.99. It was released in October of 2022, so it'll also have a year and 3-month shelf life. On eBay, the lowest it's listed for is $8 and has 166 sellers. The set has also been discounted a ton. I remember seeing it at my Walmarts for maybe 40 or 50% off. I passed on it. It's another small set that isn't really that unique, and I would only buy it for 80% off as well. Then we have King Namor's Throne Room, set number 76213. Has an MSRP of $34.99. It was also released in October of 2022, having a year and 3-month shelf life. On eBay, the lowest it's listed for is $21 and has 158 sellers. Like I mentioned already, this set is commonly discounted for really crazy discounts in Walmarts around the country, 60 to 70% off pretty commonly. No one wants this set, just like the last two Black Panther sets. I would only buy this at 80% off potentially. Next up is the Black Panther War on the Water set number 76214. Has an MSRP at $89.99, which is very high for the set. It was also released in October of 2022, making it a year and 3 months shelf life. On eBay, the lowest it's listed for is $45, half off, and it has 86 sellers. This set is a Target exclusive. That's one thing it has going for it, but it is incredibly overpriced. There's very little demand. The build for this set is very forgettable. It's very small. The only bright spot about this set is it has an exclusive Ironheart minifigure, and that goes for a good sum of money on Bricklink. But other than that, this set has been discounted on Target to around 30, maybe even 40% off several times throughout its life, and I really don't want to have anything to do with this set. I would only buy it for 70% off just because of that exclusive minifigure, but if it gets remade, then this set is a complete loser. And the last set we have for the Black Panther sub-theme is the Black Panther, set number 76215. This set has an MSRP of $349.99, also released in October of 2022. It is going for $222 on eBay at its lowest. It has 53 sellers. This set has been a huge dud from LEGO. It's been discounted to 40% off on LEGO.com for months and months now. It's never gone out of stock. It was discounted by Walmart to $150, Amazon to around $200 or $175. Every retailer is having a hard time getting rid of it. The only plus for the set is Bricklink sellers. You can have a really great part out on it. But other than that, this set is doing really poorly. I will consider buying this if there is a really good gift with purchase and double insider points, and if I can really get my buy price down to around $100, about 70% off. I may purchase some if there are no other sets that I'm looking to buy during this great gift with purchase period. So far, a lot of these sets I've been talking about I've been pretty down on, but let's move into Guardians of the Galaxy, where two of the sets are potentials for investing. The first one is the Guardian ship, set number 76193. It has an MSRP of $159.99. It was released in June of 2021, so it'll have a year and a half shelf life. Right now, the lowest it's listed for on eBay is $130, and it only has 57 sellers. So this is a great looking ship. It's an iconic, classic Guardians of the Galaxy ship. It's very collectible and displayable. Has some cool looking minifigures. It has been discounted to 20%, maybe a little bit more from different retailers throughout its life, hence the $130 going price on eBay. But there aren't too many sellers, and if there's a really strong demand for the set in the aftermarket, I could see it doing pretty well. For me to take advantage of this set for investing, I would buy it at around 40% off, and I could see us having a discount like that from a retailer near the end of its life, maybe Walmart or Amazon. Who knows where, but if not from there, you could go on Lego.com, and if there's a good gift with purchase period with Rakuten and double insider points, you could stack up a pretty great percent off, and you could get around a 40% discount on the set. Next is the Guardians of the Galaxy Headquarters, set number 76253. Has an MSRP of $9.99. It was released in April of this year, so it only has a 9-month shelf life. And on eBay, the lowest it's going for is $14. It has 52 sellers. So because of the short shelf life on this set, it is going for above MSRP on eBay. It has very few sellers, but it is readily available from most retailers, and it will probably be discounted a little bit here and there to clear out some remaining stock. So even though it's doing pretty well in the aftermarket right now, I'm not going to be looking to buy this set unless it's 70% off or more. And the last set from this sub-theme is the new Guardian ship, set number 76255. It has an MSRP of $99.99. It was released in April of this year, so it's only going to have a 9-month shelf life. On eBay, the lowest it's listed for is $75, but it only has 56 sellers. This set is pretty interesting. It's a really cool Guardians of the Galaxy ship, just like the last set, or 2 sets ago, but this only has a 9-month shelf life. There aren't that many made. Not as many investors are invested in this set, and there really hasn't been that many discounts on this set. 20% off here and there. So if you're able to get a good discount on this set, there is potential for this in the aftermarket. There's that really good looking gold minifigure. I forget the character's name in the moment, but that minifigure looks really good. And this set could do well in the aftermarket. For me to take advantage of the set, I would buy it around 35% off. I could see us seeing a discount like this from maybe Amazon, 30% off, and then pay with your Amazon Prime card for 5% cash back, and you're at a 35% discount. So there is potential for the set, and you could pick it up at a 35% off discount pretty easily, I think, near the end of this year. I just want to jump in here really quickly to say, if you're a LEGO investor or interested in getting started in LEGO investing, you should check out the Brick Dynasty Patreon. It's filled with tons of great resources for any LEGO investor, and it has my buy price for every single LEGO set that's retiring at the end of this year. If something like that interests you, you should check out the link in the description below for a list of all the perks included in the membership. Now let's get back into it with Thor. There are 3 Thor-themed sets retiring at the end of this year. The first one we have is Attack on New Asgard, set number 76207. Has an MSRP of $19.99. It was released in April of last year, so it'll have about a year and a half shelf life. On eBay, the lowest it's listed for is $15, and it also has 145 sellers. This set has been clearanced a ton on Walmart in-store clearances. It's always available for 20% off at Walmart, Target, any major retailer. There's nothing too special about this set. These niche themed sets based on movies, just like the Black Panther sets, just don't do too well in the aftermarket unless there's a cool, unique minifigure that is really valuable after it retires. But for this set, I don't see it, and I would only buy it if it was 70% off. Next is the Goat Boat, set number 76208. Has an MSRP of $59.99. It was released in April of 2022, so it'll have a year and a half shelf life. On eBay, the lowest it's listed for is $40 and has 107 sellers. This set is based off a really cool scene from the past Thor movie. I really enjoyed that scene, and this set looks okay. The goats are a little awkward looking, but the ship looks pretty cool. It was originally $50, I believe, before LEGO increased their prices, so that has caused this to be a little harder to get good discounts on, and it's also been discounted a good amount during in-store clearances. Walmart has been running like a 2-in-1 pack with this set and one of the Black Panther or Wolverine mechs for 20 to 30% off. I can't remember the exact price, but people are trying to get rid of them. Retailers are trying to get rid of them, and that shows the demand on this set just isn't that high, especially at this price point. For me to buy it, I would need a 70% off discount. But the last set for the Thor theme is a little more interesting for investing. The Thor's Hammer, set number 76209, has an MSRP of $99.99. It was released in March of 2022, so it'll have a year and 10 month shelf life. On eBay, the lowest it's listed for is $90, and it only has 52 sellers. This set is a Target exclusive. It's been on sale a couple times for 20 to 30% off from Target.com and in stores, but it was only for a few days here and there. If you're a long-term investor and you want to wait for the next movie, the Thor 5, to come out in 2026 or 2027, they're predicting right now, I think this set could do really well for you. But for me, looking to hold for a year to a year and a half after retirement and double my money after shipping and fees, this is not a set that I think will rise too quickly in value. So I will need about a 40% off discount to buy this set, because I know other investors are looking at this set, and I know Target is going to probably run 30% off on this set again. But if they run 40% off at the end of the year, I would feel comfortable buying this set, and it definitely could happen. Target in the past has been discounting sets to 40% off. Even the TIE Fighter helmet from a few years back, that was discounted to 50% off even. It was listed 40% off on the sale, but on the printed ads, it was listed for 50% off. So you could bring that paper in and say, hey, can you price match this? And they would. So that was 50% off back then. So 40% off isn't out of the question for this set, and at that price, I would buy it for investing. This part of the video, I'm going to just name figures, buildable figures, and bust section combined. The first one we have is the Iron Man figure, set number 76206. That is an MSRP of $39.99. It was released in January of 2022, making it have a 2-year shelf life. On eBay, the lowest it's listed for is $27, and it has 142 sellers. This set has been commonly discounted to 20, even 30% off online from retailers, and in-store, it's been discounted really significantly in Walmart. It's up to 70% off. So there are a ton of investors and flippers that have bought this set trying to make a quick buck, so it'll take a while for this set to rise in price in the aftermarket, especially because it's one of the higher priced buildable figures. Like you'll see coming up, the other two figures retiring this year priced at $24.99, but this one is $39.99. Of course, it's a little bit bigger, has more pieces, but because of the perceived value of the other sets being so much lower, it's going to be harder to sell this set for $60, $70, $80, maybe even $100 in the aftermarket to try to double your money if you bought it at MSRP or anything close to that. So for me, I would need a 70% off discount to be able to hit my target return on investment after a year to a year and a half after retirement. Next up is the Miles Morales figure, set number 76225. Has an MSRP of $24.99. It was released in September of 2022, making it have a year and 4-month shelf life. On eBay, the lowest it's listed for is $19, and it has 98 sellers. There is a third Spider-Verse movie centered around Miles Morales coming out at some point in the future. It was originally scheduled to be March of 2024, which would have been great for the set. A resurgence in people searching for Miles Morales and sets themed around that movie would have caused the demand for the set in the aftermarket to really increase quickly after it retired, making the supply decrease much faster than it normally would have, and the price would have also risen faster than it would have. But this movie has been delayed and there isn't an official release date set. I think I read it's ready. It'll be put out when it's ready. And so whenever that is, we don't know, but it still could come out within a year after retirement, maybe a little bit longer. So the set could be intriguing buy for investors because of that reason. For me, I don't want to take too big of a gamble on this set because of the movie. Who knows what'll happen with the strikes, even though they've resolved. There might be some after effects that we're not seeing right now. And so for me to buy this set, I'll just buy it at around 60% off. At that price point, I would feel pretty comfortable with my return on investment a year to year and a half after retirement. Then we have the Venom figure, set number 76230. Also has an MSRP of $24.99. It was released in September of 22, so it'll also have a year and 4-month shelf life. On eBay, the lowest it's listed for is $23, and it has 79 sellers. This is my favorite of the buildable figures that are retiring at the end of this year. It has the highest going price on eBay, the least amount of sellers, but also people really like this Venom figure, and it looks great. I really like the look of this set, and I think it could really do well in the aftermarket, especially when the next Venom movie comes out. But still, I would need a 60% off discount to buy this set, just because it's a buildable figure, and a lot of buildable figures haven't done super well in the past, unless we're talking about those Marvel buildable figures, or some of the Star Wars ones, and then years and years after retirement, they've been valuable. So I'm not looking to hold for a super long time, so I'll still need a 60% off discount. And the one Marvel bust that's retiring at the end of this year is the Venom bust, set number 76187. Has an MSRP of $69.99. It was released in April of 2021, so it'll have a 2.5 year shelf life. On eBay, the lowest listed for is $50, and it has 148 sellers. This set has kind of fallen off the radar for a lot of investors, I feel, but still on eBay, it's going well under MSRP, and there are a good amount of sellers. It's always been discounted 20% off from other retailers, and I really had high hopes for this set. I thought it would be performing better on eBay than it is right now. For that reason, I would need a 50% off discount on this set to buy for investing. I don't know if we're going to see that big of a discount from any retailers unless it's some sort of in-store clearance. So unfortunately, I may not be buying any of these for investing, which is too bad because I really thought this set could do well. But I think because there are so many sellers and it's going well under MSRP, it'll take a while for me to be able to double my money on this set if I buy it any less than 50% off. Moving into the last sub-theme, we have Avengers. There are 3 sets for this sub-theme. The first one is the Thanos mech armor, set number 76242. Has an MSRP of $14.99. It's released in January of this year, so it'll only have a 1-year shelf life. On eBay, the lowest it's listed for is $15, and it has 60 sellers. So these mech armors in the past used to be around $9.99. LEGO increased them by $5, 50% increase starting this year. And because of that, it's a little harder to make good profits on these sets. I used to buy the $10 mechs like the Thor mech, the past Thanos mech for around 50% off in Walmart in-store clearances. Could stack up a bunch of those, and then after a year to a year and a half, could sell them for $20 pretty easily and double my money after shipping and fees. But because of this increased price, it's going to be hard to get a really good return on investment quickly, because people are going to need to pay like $30 if you're buying this set at a smaller discount for you to be able to double your money. So I don't see that type of price increase happening in the aftermarket that quickly. So for me to buy it, I would need to have around a 65% discount. So I'd be looking for about $5 as my buy price for the set, because I do think it could hit $20 in the aftermarket pretty easily. Next is the Iron Man Armory, set number 76216. Has an MSRP of $89.99. It was released in June of 2022, so I have a year and a half shelf life. On eBay, the lowest it's listed for is $57 and has 215 sellers. This set was extremely overpriced by LEGO. There are a lot of exclusive Iron Man figures in the set, so they thought they could take advantage of buyers by jacking up the price, even though there's very few pieces and the build isn't that substantial for a $90 set. So because of that, this set has done very poorly. It's been discounted significantly from retailers. I actually picked up 10 of this set for $22 last December at my local Sam's Club. I already sold these sets for 50% profit after shipping and fees, because it's going to take a while for this set to increase in the aftermarket. There are a ton out there. A lot of people bought these significantly discounted. For me to buy more of this set, I would need a 75% discount. And the last set on this list is the Avengers Advent Calendar, set number 76267, has an MSRP of $44.99. It was released in September of this year, so it's only going to have a 4-month shelf life, like all Advent calendars. On eBay, the lowest it's listed for is $40, and it has 40 sellers. All Advent calendars across the board are poor performers. There are a few exceptions that have really unique minifigures from the Star Wars line, but it is just not worth investing in or taking risks, in my opinion. This set is already being discounted to $20 in-store in Walmart, and I'm sure many more discounts are coming to follow. You'll be seeing these sets in pallets at Sam's and Costco's for 70-80% off at the end of this year or a little bit before Christmas. Stores are going to try to clear these sets out and make space for the new wave of sets coming in. So these sets are always really discounted, and for me to buy them, I would buy them at 80% off, and I will be checking out my local Costco and Sam's during those clearance periods, because I could pick up a ton of this set and I would be able to make a nice profit on them after a year. But anything less than that is just not worth it for me. It's a pretty big gamble buying these Advent calendar sets. They rarely reach their MSRP years and years after selling in the aftermarket. Alrighty, so that is it. I hope you found this information helpful. If you did, please leave a like on this video. It helps out my channel a ton. And if you want to see more LEGO investing content like this, please subscribe to my channel. I release videos every Monday and Thursday. And if you have any questions about LEGO investing or thoughts on these sets, definitely leave a comment down below. I will get back to you as soon as I can. And thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you in the next video. As always, my videos are not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm only sharing my journey as a LEGO investor, and I encourage you to do your own research before buying any LEGO sets.